Get me tuned in. Yeah. Get me tuned in. Yeah. Ha.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 128. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with Ted telling Shanice he's falling in love with her. She doesn't know what to say. He gets it, and they talk about the last time that they had this convo. He says he knows what he wants and says again that he's falling in love with her more and more every day. We get a repeat of the last episode with Dani and Bill. With Dani playing herself, just basically the conversation they had, or whatever. And Bill is calling. Dani's acting like it ain't that serious, and Bill is calling her out on it. He's being cocky. Dani isn't playing it to it. Not really. He says he knows all about her fantasies and tells her what she likes, and she tries to walk away, but he pulls her close and asks her why her heart is pounding in her chest. We see Grayson. He done brought Ashley some breakfast. We see Kat. She visits Nicole in the hospital. She just came back from her follow up appointment. She's doing better. They talk about her moving and taking it easy. They talk about Tomas going to Puerto Rico, and Nicole asks how she feels. She tells her, and Nicole says maybe this is divine timing, and they can figure out what they are and what they want out of this relationship. Kat says, "So you don't want us getting married." So we go back to Bill trying to sell the idea of them having an affair. Dani isn't going for it, but Bill is still trying. We go back to Nicole, and she gives Kat great advice. She tells her she and Ted did her a disservice with the grand love at first sight. Kat asks if she regrets Ted that much. Nicole says no, she got her kids out of that, so of course she doesn't. She tells her there are all kinds of relationships, and love doesn't have to be instant to be real. It doesn't have to be perfect or effortless or forever. Sometimes you love someone, learn from them, and move on. Kat asks if Nicole thinks Tomas is a lesson for her. He is. Nicole doesn't want to answer that, but I will. He is, Kat. She says Kat has been hashtag goals about everything since she grabbed a rattle, and she doesn't have to have her mind set yet. Take time to process the proposal. Kat says she doesn't do well with uncertainty. Nicole says most people aren't. Most people don't. But letting go of expectations can give away to freedom. And when she's unrestrained, she can make better choices. Kat doesn't Kat can't be free like Chelsea, Dani, or Nicole. Nicole tells her to try it. She can spare herself a lot of anxiety. Kat then changes the subject to Naomi. Um, and she tells Nicole about Naomi having the BRCA gene. And she tells her why she didn't tell them. Nicole says that's so Naomi, and she has been going through this alone when she needed them the most. And Kat tells her about Naomi thinking about getting the double mastectomy, and Nicole is shocked. We go back to Ted and Shanice. He's telling her that she doesn't have to say it back. They continue to discuss him falling in love with her. Shanice needs a minute, and she wants to leave. He tells her not to go, and nothing has changed. Um, but she says she has some thinking to do, and she dips. Ted gets a call from someone, so he goes to leave. Well, he gets a call from someone saying he'll be there or whatever. We go back to Ashley and Grayson. They're talking about his new job and his role in the plasma story and him making it up to her. They start making out, but he has to go. We go back to Bill and Dani, and they're still going back and forth about Dani becoming Bill's mistress. We see Tomas. He is now at the bar, and Grayson is already behind us. behind the bar with the drinks. He talks with Grayson about his botch proposal and the ring or whatever. So we see Ted. He meets Kat at OG, and again, this is the irritation on my part, probably a lot of other people's part. But when they had this whole story about this whole liver storyline or whatever, Eva told this man to make more time with Kat. And the only time that we seen him with Kat was at the welcome home party. And then she had to call him to come and see him at Orphe Jeans. But he went to Eva's place to take care of her. Yeah, Ted ain't shit. So they back there. She tells him about he asked her about her appointment. She tells him about it. She says she needs advice about Tomas. He's proud of her getting a place. She tells him what's going on. He wants her to look at it from Tomas's eyes. She tells him what Nicole told her, and he doesn't give her advice, but he tells her that he's in the same boat, so he switches the conversation to talk about him. We see Shanice is back at work, looking dazed and confused. Ashley wants to know what's going on. She tells her what happened. We go back to Kat and Ted, and Ted is telling Kat what happened. Kat gives him words of encouragement. He then tells her he agrees with what Nicole said regarding Tomas. If he loves you, he's willing to wait until you are ready. If he doesn't, then he isn't the one. She thanks him and has to go see Tomas before he leaves um for Puerto Rico. So we go back to Tomas, and he is showing Grace in the ring, and he's talking about you know the story of his abuelita and all of that, his grandparents, and how his grandpa got that ring and all this other stuff. Grayson tells him to hold on to it, or maybe Kat will change her mind, or you'll find someone else who will appreciate it. And I'm hoping that he'll find somebody else that'll appreciate it. So we go back to Bill. Bill and Dani. He's still trying to make his case on why Dani should be his side piece. Dani says she'll never be a side piece. Bill tries to play it off and said he was just playing, but says she's never hotter than when she wants to sleep with him or kill him. Nicole shows up and Nicole shows up and Bill leaves, but not before asking Dani to be his mistress again on the low. Dani says she can explain, but Nicole wants to talk about Naomi. Dani is relieved. They talk about how Dani is feeling with the whole situation. She tells her how she's feeling. Nicole gives her words of encouragement. Nicole tells her they need to focus on Naomi, especially if she's going to get through the surgery, but Dani doesn't know what she's talking about. We go back to Ashley and Shanice. They're talking about her and Ted some more. Ashley gives her a pep talk. We go to Kat and Tomas. They are at Uptown. He's not leaving for the week anymore. It's only going to be a couple of days. Kat wonders why. Is it something to do with Bill? No, but he's worried about Naomi taking his place. Kat tells him Naomi ain't worried about that office. She got her own thing going on. He isn't too sure. He says Bill and Naomi have been getting closer. Kat tells him Naomi got her own stuff going on, and Bill doesn't know. And Bill walks up at this and asks what he doesn't know. Kat makes something up and she praises Tomas. Bill says he's glad to hear Kat singing his praises and was thinking that maybe she was stringing him along. Tomas takes up for her, and Kat makes a dig at Bill, says they aren't ones who to be rushed to the altar and wake up one day married to someone they don't respect. And in my notes, I said that goes for both of his wives, because he didn't respect Dani and he doesn't respect Haley. So yeah, that can be said for your auntie too. So we see Ted. He's sending a text to Shanice. Shanice doesn't know what to say back to the message. Ashley gives her another pep talk, so Shanice leaves. We go back to not Bill, but Nicole and Dani. Nicole telling Dani what Kat told her. Dani is shocked and doesn't want to believe it. Nicole tells her they'll what she would do as a therapist. Dani says what they will do, and she thinks Nicole is doing this out of fear. We see Bill. He goes to the bar. Um, I don't have a picture of it, but anyways, Bill's at the bar to get a drink. He's making small talk with Grayson. We see Kat and Tomas. Tomas is asking Kat to keep an eye on Naomi. She says she ain't spying on her cousin. He gives her a compliment, and she says she's only going to keep an ear out just to prove that Naomi doesn't want the job. And she takes him to the airport. We see Ashley calling Grayson. Um, and invites him back to her place. We see Bill looking sullen. We go back to Dani. She is on 10 now, and Nicole is trying to calm her down. Nicole um, tells her Naomi isn't her, and she has to trust her daughter is doing this for herself. Nicole tells her to get herself together for Naomi. We go back to Bill and not Bill, but Ted and Shanice, and she comes back and she says she's falling in love with him too, and then they hug. And yeah, so if what they're saying is true, she has it in her contract where she ain't kissing no more, and she don't need to be in no relationship if she ain't gonna be kissing, because them telling each other that they love each other and they can't even kiss each other after that, they just go for a hug. So basic. Don't like it. But anyways, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments, tell me what you guys thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.